Hi, welcome to Joanna's DIY Life. I'm glad you're here. I am going to be making a surface that's hard that I can use on, with my easy press. And also if I'm videoing, I can bring it over here and it will not affect my cutting mats because if they get hot, they will warp. So it won't affect that. And I'm also going to be recovering my ironing station over here, but I'm not going to do that on camera because it is so big. I can't. But I'll show you how to on the board that I have here. But this is just covered in muslin, and overlook my junk. It's projects that I got to get to. But it's covered with muslin, which is okay. I mean, it's covered. But my fabric is sticking to it when I iron my fabric. So I have got regular ironing surface material, and it is slick, and this is my favorite. This is my favorite. This is not the quilted one. The quilted one is more expensive, but I found with the quilted one that the threads come loose over time, and then your iron gets hung, and it's just, I don't like it. This is my favorite. So, and I got that at, I don't know if I got it at Joann's or Hobby Lobby, but, either way, they have it at either place. And I'll try to find it online if you don't get out, and find it on Amazon and put it in my Amazon store for you. So let me pull you down and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. Okay, so I hope that you're going to be able to see this from where you are, okay, or where I have you. But I first have the table. I don't know if you recognize these. This one is old and it looks terrible. It was out in the weather, but this is a side table, those folding tables, and I dismembered it, I guess you could say, and took the top off. Took the legs off. I took the top off the legs. You see, there's no legs here, okay? Bear with me. I might be riding on that struggle bus today. But anyways, if you're a quilter, or just sewing in general, some people like to leave these with the legs on them so they can fold them up when they're not using them, and they will stretch this stuff over it and staple it to the back and have their ironing thing that way, okay? But anyways, you're going to need a piece of wood, not necessarily a tabletop, but a piece of wood. I'm going to be using my knife or my roller cutter. I have my fabric. I have my stapler. I have warm white. This is cotton batting. You will need 100% cotton. You don't want polyester because it will melt. So cotton batting, aluminum foil. I'm going to be using my Easy Tack. Probably these. I need a piece of this. I forgot what you call it. But anyways, I'm going to be putting a handle on mine because I carry it to my daughter's. Or I carry it places, so I'm going to be making a handle. And then I have the screws and my screwdriver. Okay? So the first thing I want to do, and I'm going to tell you why, on any ironing surface, okay? On any ironing surface, I put aluminum foil down, heavy duty aluminum foil. And the reason I do this is because sorry about the noise, when you steam on wood, it will cause it to warp, okay? So I steam on these. I don't just use the Easy Press. I use this for ironing, sometimes at a desk or whatever. And I want to make sure that the steam is not affecting this board. I have a vintage ironing board in my bedroom, and it is warped like this. So when you're ironing, you kind of dip down. My husband uses it. We love it, but you're dipping with it, and you can avoid that with aluminum foil, okay? The same goes with this one. Behind me on my table, I put aluminum foil on it. You want to measure your board, okay? So my board is 15, or actually it's 14 and a half by almost 20. So I'm going to cut a piece that is 43 by 16.5. 16.5 will give me room to sew. And what I'm going to do is, I have to have extra room because I'm going to be padding this, but I'm going to slip a cover over this, and then we're going to tack it on the end. So I need to cut a piece that is that measurement right there. And what you do is you take this, and 20 and 20 is 40, and then I added 3 inches for just folding under, and if it's too long I can cut it, but that's just what I added in. And then since it is 14 and a half, I added for the sides here 16 and a half. You can measure the way you want. If it's too loose, that's okay. I'll take it back off and I'll tighten it. But I'd rather have it too big than too small, So what I'm going to do, and this may be loud and I am so sorry. It's aluminum foil, what do you expect? But I'm going to pull a piece of foil off, okay? And I'm going to put one piece here. I want both sides where I can use it. So I'm going to take one piece and make it big enough to go all the way around, and then take another piece and go all the way around here, okay? So I'm going to do that and turn you off so you don't hear all this noise. This is really loud, so I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do, okay? I'm going to spray this with Easy Tack, front and back, and that's just going to make sure that my aluminum foil is staying down. So I'm going to spray this, and then I'm going to put it on this, okay? And then I'm going to fold this over, and I'm going to do both sides, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I have it on there, okay? I'm sorry to be difficult, but it's really stinking loud. And just for your information, I had a 15-minute fight with this trying to get it out, and because this flap kept coming in. So if you rip that flap off, your foil will come out better, okay? Just saying. So I'll be right back when I get this done, and you'll see. You can lay something down for the overspray if you want to, but I have to clean my mat anyway, so I'm just going to scrub it off with the LA Totally Awesome from the Dollar Tree. And so it's not going to bother me to get it everywhere. And also, it is not low odor. It smells like paint. I will tell you the reason I sprayed Easy Tack on this and under here was to keep this on here when I flip it over. It just makes it easier. So we're on there. Now, it is time for your batting. Okay? I got the small one. I got this at Joann's. And I used a coupon, or it was on sale. I can't remember which. But that's where I got mine. They have it at Walmart. They have it at Hobby Lobby. You can get it anywhere. Now I'm just going to cut a piece of my batting, okay? To go around my table, I can cut it. It's longer on one end. I can cut it the short end, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to figure out where I need to cut, because I can't remember what I said. That's just me, y'all. That's just me. I don't necessarily want a lot gaping over the end. I don't want nothing on the end here, really, per se. The aluminum foil or tin foil, depending on where you're from, what you call it. But anyways, I don't want it coming out there. So I am going to mark it here with just a little snip of my scissors. And then that will mark it for me to know where to cut it. So I'm just going to fold my fabric in half. And then I am going to take my rotary cutter and my ruler, and I'm going to cut my fabric right here where this mark is. Once I get it all straightened out. And it's stuck to my mat because that stuff is on there. But that's alright. Okay. So I want to even this up, and I want this on an even number, so that is on that right there. I'm all about lines so I can cut, y'all. It doesn't matter where this is. It's even. I'm just going from this line. As long as I have it even on this line right here, it'll be even right here. So I am just going to take my cutter and my ruler, and I'm going to line this up on that 19 mark. This way. I'll get it in a minute, y'all. And just take one cut and cut that off. Alright. Now I have my piece. While I don't have that other thing here, I'm going to cut my piece for my slip cover. Kind of like a pillowcase is what I'm doing, okay? It's going to be kind of like a pillowcase. And I've got to figure this out, so hold on one second. I hope this doesn't confuse y'all, but the easiest way for me to cut this fabric is to fold it in half, because this is 45 wide and I only need it like 43, I think I said. So I'm going to fold it in half because I know the 45 will work. And I am going to fold it in half again. You know, have it fold in half. You'll work with me here. Fold it in half again. Woo! There went my foil. It's alright, man. I'll get it later. I don't even care. Okay. Make sure you're not wrinkled up here, okay? Make sure you're not wrinkled in there. This has to be 16.5 wide. So I like to line this line, the crease here, up on a line here. That way I know I got it even. Make sure all this is even down through here, because this may not be even, but you need this even, okay? Because then you know your fabric's even. Or at least I do. So I'm not worried about this yet. I'm going to leave a little bit hanging over. And then I'm going to cut this 16.5. Alright. So I'm going to go down and go 16.5. Let me make sure that's what I need. Yes, 16.5. Whew. You have to, you know, measure twice, cut once kind of thing. I'm already going to have to go get more of this because my table over here is 45 or 40 something long, and this won't fit now, I don't think. But anyway, now I got this 16.5, and you know, it don't got to be perfect. So now I need to go down 43. So you figure out half of 43. I am coughing up a storm. Sorry. So I have to cut this 21.5. I also ain't gonna lie, I'm not good at math, so I had to do that on my phone. You know, we ain't perfect. So 21.5 is what I gotta cut now. And this is moving these are good to hold your fabric down. And I get them at the hardware store. But anyway, them boogers is heavy. So now I need to do 21.5, and that's almost all the way down. I just need to cut the selvage off pretty much. But anyways, then you cut it at 21.5 or whatever your table measures out to be. Okay. So what I'm going to do to make my cover, you know, this doesn't have to be pretty or nothing like that. So I'm going to flip this around this way. And this end right here is going to be open, okay? I'm going to go to my machine. That side looks bigger. I'm going to go to my machine, and this side was the side that wasn't really even, but that's all right. And I'm going to sew next to my foot there, you know, along the side of the foot, like I always sew. And I'm going to sew a seam. I believe if you were to measure, it would be a 1/8 seam, okay? So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go sew it, and it's just going to be, you know, just a little piece. That's all I'm sewing. Okay, so I left my needle in the middle position, and then I run this right along my presser foot edge. And I used this one instead of this one, so I knew I had enough fabric, okay? So now I'm just going to flip it in the side, or the right side. I guess it is inside out, ain't it? I'm going to flip it the right way. Sorry about all the noise. I'm going to pokey out my corners. Like I said, this doesn't have to be too perfect. So now we got like a little silver shiny pillowcase, if you will, and we're going to slip our little board in here. Now, like I said, if you were doing this, you would just fold this around and staple it to the back. You know, do all that I done, but just take your fabric and staple it to the back, and then you're done. Okay, so now we're at this point, and we want this to stick to this. Okay, so I'm going to go back and use my Easy Tack. Oh man, where am I spraying? Like I said, it'll come off. It ain't easy, but you know that what you call it stuff. Low odor my butt. That stuff is rough. I'm going to be high in here trying to do this thing, y'all. Good Lord. Whew. Anyway, pardon me. That is not low odor. They are lying. They are lying. Okay, put this on. Put this on. Pull it nice and tight, and then cut the extra off. Now, don't forget to put your cap on your Easy Tack. Man, this stuff is like messing with my throat worse than what it was. Shoo, doggy. Okay. This is the part where you pray that what you made actually fits around your doodad here. It should. So with the Easy Tack also, it is not going to drag your backing off. And now make sure that you poke it in there, okay? Because this is slick and it will slide. Now just slide your cover on. Easy does it, y'all. Easy. I'm sorry, I'm just playing around. If it moves, you can stick it back down, you know. It came up. I didn't have enough Easy Tack, I guess. Why is it getting skinnier? Oh, it ain't. It's getting stuck. My bad. Too much overkill. Overspray with the Easy Tack. Okay, push all your little corners down, okay? This is a little bit looser than I want it. I want mine snug, so I need to come in about maybe a half an inch, okay? So I'm going to do that, and then we'll see what we get then. I got this on. It was a tight fit, which is good. And all I done was put my machine needle all the way to the left and still left it on the edge. I just moved it over. But anyway, then you'll end up with this. Okay, I'm sure that you've wrapped presents before. Oh, I'm sorry. You'll end up with this. I'm going to push this in, and I'm going to take just a tiny bit of hot glue and tack these down before I staple so that I can get it all pulled tight, you know, without it slipping. So I'm just going to tack these down. Then I'm going to pull this over, and I'm going to tack this. Then I'm going to fold this and then tack it over. Okay? I hope you see now. Let me do it again. Tack these two in. Tack one down. Doesn't matter which end. Fold one end. And then fold that down and tack it so it can be stapled. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do now. So I am going to run a small bead of glue, just a small. That's why I got my detailed gun. And I'm just going to push that in. That'll tack that down. Then I'm going to go to this side. Tack this end, and I'm pulling it tight, okay? That's why I'm using glue. I want this thing tight, and it didn't stick. Oh, no glue came out. That's why. Y'all, I got to go get a glue stick. That's not staying because the cord is way back there. Okay, so I got to get a tip is to put a tiny drop of glue on your glue stick. Make sure you don't touch anything. Run it through there and butt it up against the other glue stick. That ensures your glue stick doesn't fall out. You're welcome. Okay, I'm going to pull this tight. I don't want to pull it too tight where this shifts, you know, any amount, but I'm going to pull it down. And I am going to glue it to this. This works, I promise. It's just at a bad angle. Okay. I've got this far, okay? So now I'm going to fold this in, and I am going to tack that. This is going to be glued, stapled, you know, whatever. The other one I don't glue, I just tack because it's only one side. This is awkward because you have to do it like I said, like a present, you know, and it's just weird. You fold this over, push that down. So that's all pretty. And then I'm just going to grab this and I'm going to fold it up. You want to make sure when you fold it down that it doesn't come above this. If it is, just put a little bit of glue and tack it down. You kind of want it right even with it, if anything, you know, because it makes it look better. If I'm carrying this around, I don't want it looking tacky. That's just me. I just like my stuff looking finished. So I'm just going to tack all this down before I staple to make sure it's not going to go nowhere. Now I am going to plug this in, and I'm just going to add staples to secure this. Okay, because hot glue is not going to work, especially if you're ironing and the steam gets it. But this will ensure when I staple that the hot glue is not going to ooze out. Plus, it's going to be secure down on there. And I don't have one of these linked in my Amazon store because, you know, I've not tried it. I can't find this one per se. But I got this at Lowe's, and the reviews on it was not so spiffy, but it has not been a bad gun for me, okay? So let me move this and plug this in, and I'll be right back. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I was scared of this thing at first, but it's not bad. You want to make sure you pull before you put your staples in, okay? Oh, I didn't turn it on. You know, these work better when you turn them on. And I'm just going to do this all the way down, just periodically, about every 2 inches, 1.5 to 2 inches, all the way down, okay? Now I'm going to take this, and I want a handle on one of my sides. Feels like this side is tighter, so I'll probably put it over there. It really doesn't matter what side it's on. It's just for carrying, okay? So I've got this strap, and it's a nylon strap. This end is already sealed. I want to push it under, okay? Then I'm going to push it under again. That should work. If it's too long, it's too long. Yeah, that's too long. I don't like it. Now let me see. It has to be satisfying to me, y'all. It's mine. I don't want a real big handle over there. Okay, that's good. So what I want to do is I want to melt this end so it doesn't come unraveled. Make sure you don't catch it on fire. I lick my finger, because when you lick your finger and you touch hot, it doesn't burn. It's just, I don't know. I do it all the time. And all I'm going to do is kind of find the middle, okay? And I'm going to fold it under and fold it under again. And then I'm going to carefully take my screw and I'm going to screw down through here. My screws are short, but it'll smash all down in there. They have a big head, so they're not going to go through. And I am just going to screw this in, making sure that it's all together and straight as I can get it, okay? So I'm going to do that. I'm sorry, I was out of the camera. I'm going to take this and I'm going to screw it down in the middle, or as far as, you know, the middle, just to put it down. And it's just a handle for me to carry it, okay? So I got this side down and I got this side down. That baby ain't going nowhere, so it can be carried. You can iron on either side, and it is not going to ruin your board. Your heat press can go right on here and push it down. It's a hard surface for your heat press, and that's all that is to that. Well, that was fun and easy, and it is a nice little project for something that, you know, is needed and can be used anywhere. Now the job to clean off my table with my awesome from the Dollar Tree, and so I'm going to do that. But if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel, because I'd love to have you as part of my YouTube family, and ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Thank you for watching, and remember, you are a blessing, especially to me. Until next time, goodbye.